for Tony to come in and say his piece.
Oh, we're hearing some background noise.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, so ready to roll?
Let's go.
Okay, hello Scarborough. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for logging on to the SBA's online February Festival of Food. I'm Ashwani Bhardwaj, Vice President of the Scarborough Business Association. Today, our restaurants are doing all they can to adopt a very challenging new situation, and we are here to help them. There's so much to celebrate in the month of February. Let's do it with food. Why not mark Black History Month, Valentine's Day, Lunar New Year, Family Day, and the Chinese Year of the Ox by ordering meals from our local restaurants. In recognition of Black History Month, two community-minded, hardworking Scarborough Black entrepreneurs have come on board as today's sponsors. We thank Matrix Mortgage Global President and CEO Sean Allen and Winspire Generational Wealth Solutions President and Founder Andrea Hazel for their generous support. Thank you, guys. Matrix Mortgage Global is truly a Scarborough success story. Founded in 2008 by Sean Allen, born in Matrix Mortgage Global head office in Scarborough specializes in providing residential and commercial financing to Canadians turned down by their banks. Sean has guided Matrix Mortgage Global to over $1.1 billion in funded volume and over 610% growth in the past 5 years. Matrix Mortgage Global is ranked on the Growth 500 list as the fastest growing mortgage brokerage in Canada and winner of the 2018, 2019, and 2020 CMP Broker of the Year award. Sean's dedication to the industry has made him a major stakeholder in the Canadian financing landscape. He has been a stalwart supporter of his community and always sees the big picture. Andrea Hazel founded Winspire Generational Wealth Solutions in 2020. During her career in the banking financial profession, Andrea Hazel developed a fascination for money management. Now she is excited to bring her finely honed skills and 30 years of extensive experience to her clients and the people of her generation. Capitalizing on her personal strength, she carried a company with heart. Winspire Generational Wealth Solutions demystifies financial strategies, focuses on client-based lifestyles and goals, and provides clear communication every step of the way. Andrea and her team take a laser-focused, client-centric, holistic approach to help you achieve your lifestyle goals and financial prosperity. As sponsors, Sean and Andrea were offered the opportunity to introduce or close this event, but they graciously passed. Instead, they are working for us today. Sean is managing us to ensure we are on track, and Andrea will add the SBA President's message. And as John,
I think we lost Ashwani.
Did we? Okay, Ashwani. Let's see if we can get him back.
Sean?
Oh, he's there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, we just lost you at the end when you, I think you were bringing on me to give my Scarborough SBA President message, but we heard everything. Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're good?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Am I good to move forward?
Let's go.
All right. So as president of the Scarborough Business Association, I just want to say once again, you know, good morning to every one of you. Thank you for joining us on our first of its kind event. It's February Festival of Food. Special shout out to our 3 restaurants that will be sharing their resiliency story with us this morning. A big thank you to all of our special speakers this morning. You were carefully selected. Scarborough Business Association couldn't sit on the sideline and do nothing to support the industry that was hit the hardest by this dreadful pandemic. I am so over the moon with happiness to see the many residents, stakeholders, politicians, institutions, and community leaders that put their hands up to support this event. We appreciate you. This is why our Scarborough community is unique and special. Today, we come together to support our Scarborough restaurants and to learn how your support can help to keep them afloat during their recovery process. As president of this amazing organization, I would like to thank the board of directors who have worked long hours behind the scenes to bring this vision to life. It was not an easy task to accomplish, but we are a highly motivated and dedicated team, so we always pull through and get the job done. Everyone that is here today, I can't thank you enough. Without your support, we could not launch this event. You made it happen. So please tap yourself on the back or put up an emoji high five. Lastly, we have a jam-packed agenda for you today. So we will be moving through this process as seamlessly as possible. Please enjoy the event. Drum rolls, everyone. And over to you, Sean Allen. Let's kickstart this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew. That was very well said, very motivating for the kickoff of this amazing event. Now, I want to introduce Executive Chef Suman Roy. He's been so instrumental in providing a lot of support in the Scarborough community. We did some events with him several times, especially when we went and fed the frontline workers. So Suman, Executive Chef Suman Roy, let me open your mic, and now the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Sean, and huge thanks to Scarborough Business Association for putting this together. I think everybody will agree that our industry, the food and beverage industry, has been hit really, really hard due to pandemic, and this industry will not survive without the support of organizations like SBA. And that is a very key thing to understand, because most of the restaurant, and I'm talking individual restaurant, they are barely, even on the best of times, they're barely hanging on with a thin thread. If anybody says restaurant industry, you can sit on money, I don't know which world they come from, not here. Really, the profit margin is, if you're running a good show, maybe 3 to 4% profit you might be able to take home for a smaller restaurant. So, and in the middle of pandemic, with everything that's happening, I can only imagine. I used to own 3 restaurants. I am lucky I don't own them, and this was way before pandemic, because I wouldn't know what to do at this point. But there is certain things that we need to talk about, which is important. Of course, the whole messaging about we need to go and support, we need to order takeout and food from the restaurants. These are absolutely great. Yes, we do. However, I think what I really want to focus on is a more systemic issue. And there are 2 systemic issues that I see right now. In North America, we live in a cheap food world. We live in a cheap food mentality, which is a huge problem for the whole industry, not only just restaurant, from the fruit producers to the farmers to everybody. And I think that is something we need to understand as a community, as people in the society, that we cannot accept these cheap food mentality. Why is it that when I walk into a No Frills, I see 30 cents to 50 cents for a craft dinner, but almost a 70 cents for a piece of apple or a pear? It does not make sense to me at all. And I'm going to bring it back to the restaurant industry here, because I think what we really need as an organization like SBA and all of us together is talk about a systemic change that needs to happen. And let me just bring it back to the pandemic for a few minutes. In Scarborough itself, we have already seen, and earlier when I came to speak to this group, I predicted a 35 to 40% loss of restaurants by the end of pandemic. We are not even close to the end. Now we are talking about a third wave coming in April. And we have already lost over 20% of restaurants in Scarborough. So my prediction was wrong. I am now talking about probably 50% loss if we do not act properly and we do not act together. And this lies not only the responsibility of SBA or the community, it lies in our three levels of governments. There needs to be policy changes that has to happen that will actually help the small businesses. And I'll take a small example. I know when I always talk about this, I have my friends in the municipality who says, oh, we're going to wait for Trudeau to give more rent benefits. Yes. However, every level has this responsibility. Why is it that a landlord is able to keep the place vacant and make money on taxes rather than give it cheaper to a place to run for a few months? It's a systemic problem. Why is it that in quite a lot of places you see there is vacant storefronts sitting for years, and it still is profitable to the landlord than make a little concession to a small business to open up? These are policy discussions, and we need to have these discussions, and it lies with all the three levels. It's not one level or the other. And I really urge personally to the SBA to take on these policy discussions and push it from a policy standpoint on where we can systemically make a difference and a long-term difference. It is not just a pandemic that's going to cause us. It's going to take us 3-4 years to really stand back on our feet. We know that. But these 3 or 4 years will be so expensive to the livelihood for thousands and thousands of Scarborough residents that their livelihood is going to be lost. And we cannot afford that. And we need action now. We need action immediately. And I look at all our elected officials, and Scarborough Food Security Initiative very recently did a session in Southwest Scarborough with all three levels of government. And I think we need to have more conversations like this with all three levels of government around the table and talk about systemically how we can actually support this industry. We as individuals needs to focus on, it is not about the cheapest food. It is about the good food, and we as consumers, we have the power. If anybody says we don't have the power, that's not true. We have two major power in our hands. One is our vote, and two is our wallets. And as people, we can use both these to actually make our community a better place.
All right. Thank you, Chef Suman. That was amazing. I appreciate the inspiration. We got to keep it moving, keep it very, very on time. So I want to bring up Zuba to give a special announcement from the SBA Executive Board. Zuba, take it away. Let me bring on your mic. And Zuba,
thank you, Sean. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Good morning, everyone. I'm Zuba Mammon. I'm the Secretary of the Board at SBA, and it is my delicious duty. I nabbed the best task this morning to introduce to you several of our great restaurants in Scarborough. Each one is a little gem in our community, and I guarantee your mouths will be watering by the time I'm done. So first up, let me introduce to you Prague Restaurant and Cafe. This Bohemian restaurant has been around since 1948, serving traditional Czech and Slovak meals in a lovely country club setting overlooking the rolling hills of Maastricht Town Park, which is a veritable oasis on its own in the city. Prague Restaurant promises a taste of Europe in every bite, sauerkraut and red cabbage to die for, signature sauces that put a modern twist on centuries-old recipes, and crowd pleasers like classic Wiener Schnitzel and Bambarak and goulash. They invite us all to come check them out. Next up is Fratelli Village Pizzeria, where it's a family-owned restaurant which fires up their authentic Italian-made wood-burning oven to create delicious family favorites, their signature dish being the ice cream pizza, an original recipe and a local favorite. The owners state that sharing the best tastes from our Sicilian cultural roots is more than a business. It is what connects us to you, our community. And SBA's own Sherry Somerville will attest to that. She says they really make you feel like a fond friend, and her personal favorite at Fratelli's is their pesto pizza with chicken and sun-dried tomatoes. And in the next segment of speakers, you will be hearing from Northern Smokes. This restaurant offers Southern-style barbecue with a Northern touch, including a wide selection of smoked meats like Texas brisket, Carolina and Kansas-style beef ribs, California-style tri-tip, Montreal smoked meat, West Indian jerk chicken, and the house-style corned beef. Their menu features exciting items like jerk mac and cheese, brisket poutine, apple chipotle brisket sandwich, and the house special smoked gravy. Best part, all of their meats are 100% halal certified. And that's it for me. Over to you, Sean.
All right, thank you for that. And now I'm going to bring up from the UTC, Dave Fenton, Entrepreneurship and Work Integrated Learning Program Coordinator for the Management Department, and Bill McConkey, Assistant Professor of Strategy and Entrepreneurship. So let me open up your mics. Bill, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Any better, you'd swear I was Andrea.
And Dave, I can't see you here. I don't see your name popping up. Dave, are you here? What's your name? Are you in with your phone number?
There we go. They're my credentials. So, thank you. We have a couple slides. Whether or not they show up, I can just quickly mention that we're going to introduce a couple of our wonderful students today, and also two initiatives going on through the Department of Management and through UTSC, your wonderful Scarborough campus of the illustrious University of Toronto. And this campus has so much to offer. I just keep reminding people, check us out, call us. There's students, there's faculty, there's research, there's so much that we can offer to the Scarborough community, and we try to. And so we're offering up two things today. We're going to introduce you to Max and Daniel, who have actually started a few businesses, and they're going to be talking about some of their work with Scarborough restaurants. And a little later, we'll be hearing from Shannon from Centennial College, who will be introducing a partnership we have with the city, with Centennial and UTSC to develop what we're calling the Find Dining platform. So welcome, Daniel. Welcome, Max.
Hi,
a little bit about your initiative.
Yeah. Hi, thank you so much for that. I'm just unable to actually share a screen for whatever reason. But I guess we can just carry on if that's okay.
Sure.
So I guess, yeah, first of all, thank you for the introductions, Professor. And I guess we're just get started here. So my name is Max, and with me is Daniel. So first of all, who are we, right? We're Pick Easy, a Scarborough homegrown startup that serves the restaurant community. And our mission is to actually bring communities closer to their local restaurants. And especially during this time, we're also aiming to empower small restaurants to be able to do what the big guys can do. So after hearing about the stories, we've actually found like a common theme. We've talked to over 200 restaurants in the Markham, Scarborough area personally. And it seems like restaurants, no matter their sizes, had really been nimble at actually adapting to their surrounding environment, whether it's during lockdown or not. And we think it's amazing, and frankly, all business owners should in fact have that sort of attitude. So Daniel, do you want to carry on?
At first, we just wanted to just create a cool new way for people to discover small restaurants instead of browsing through Yelp's boring and long directory. But as the first lockdown measures were put in place, we want to see what we can really do to help out these restaurant owners, which are you guys. And personally, I'm from a restaurant family myself, and it just hurts to see all these people working, day in and day out to keep their businesses afloat. And we want to do what we could to give back to the community while getting steps closer to our vision of empowering small restaurants to do what the big guys can do. So this is why we've created and built a platform for restaurant owners to create a digital menu for free to use, and it's free to use, essentially forever. And other tech companies or developers are charging, anywhere around $200 to $500 for the exact same service we've been providing. But we've essentially created, a free online editor where restaurant owners can just update the information themselves and basically build their own online menu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's also another like very cool initiative that we've taken on as we understand more about the marketplace, right? So after all, we did personally visit like hundreds of restaurants in the area, and turns out it's no secret that you guys are paying exorbitant fees to delivery companies like Uber Eats and DoorDash at around 30%. And that really eats up your margin. And frankly, this money is just going directly to the big company executives, leaving us the crumbs to pick up. So that's not good. We want to give you guys a way to be able to take control of your margins while actually promoting safe dining, right? So instead of taking fees away from each transaction, like how Uber Eats and DoorDash do things, we want to put the power back into your own hands. And that's why we are building a way for restaurants to post deals and discounts onto our platform so that our users could order takeout, thereby slashing the 30% commission from delivery companies. So essentially, we just want to help you take control of your margins while encouraging our users to support our small local businesses. So once again, if you're interested in working with us, you can connect with us afterwards. Shoot me a message because we'd love to hear from you, and more importantly, how PickEasy can help you during this tough times.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Daniel, Max, and Bill. We really appreciate that. I just want to open it up to Northern Smokes. Is Imran available? I was trying to reach out. I don't see the name here on the list. And is someone from the Northern Smokes available? Imran Ali, I don't see you here. We have you on the docket. If you're not here, we could move along to Ryan Bally at the Scarborough Health Network, Vice President of Community Development for the Scarborough Health Network Foundation. Let me open up the mic to you, and let's just, let me open up the mic.
Hey everybody, can you hear me, Sean? Good, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks so much for having me. I just want to acknowledge first that I knew Andrea was a shrewd business person, but hosting an event like this before lunchtime is a brilliant move, Andrea. I'm hearing in the chat and seeing a lot of notes that mouths are watering. So hopefully we'll see a little pickup as early as today. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Ryan Bailey. I'm with Scarborough Health Network Foundation. I lead our community development team. And I know we've got a number of members from the foundation and from our Scarborough Health Network community on the call today too. So thank you all for joining us. A little bit of background about me, and this is primarily an opportunity for me to introduce myself, but also share a little bit about the hospital and the foundation, because I think our missions in many ways overlap. I actually grew up in the restaurant industry. My stepfather, for about 25 years, owned a British pub in Burlington, Ontario. And it was not always the most successful British pub. There were a number of challenges. There were a number of lean years. This is all to say, I understand the challenges with running, at least secondhand, a restaurant. I understand the competition. Somebody had spoke about profit margins earlier. These are all pre-pandemic challenges that makes it hard enough to run and operate a small business, let alone a restaurant, and that is without a pandemic. So I want you all to know that you've got a friend at Scarborough Health Network. You have many friends at Scarborough Health Network, and that we exist to support you. We want to keep Scarborough healthy. Our mission, as it's written, is to improve lives through exceptional care. Otherwise said, keeping Scarborough moving, keeping Scarborough healthy. And I really see that in my short tenure here and in the relationships that I've built in a short period of time as a mutual beneficial relationship. It's not only how we can fundraise through the connections within the community, but how we can support small business as well. And I see that not only as an opportunity, but as our obligation as well. At the end of the day, we serve the same folks. You may call them customers, we may at times call them patients, but we all exist to serve and support the same community. COVID-19, as it's been mentioned previously, is not going anywhere anytime soon. I know that Scarborough Health Network is rallying to develop a very strong plan to continue to support the community and develop max vaccination sites. And we will be here and be here to keep you safe and healthy when the time comes and the vaccines are here and we're able to roll those out. In the meantime, what many of you may not realize, as a number of the cases that are reported within Toronto are reported as Toronto whole. A number of the cases are coming from Scarborough. And so COVID-19 has affected adversely our 3 hospital sites and our staff. I can't thank the community enough for how you have all rallied behind our staff since March of 2020. Prior to that, of course, but since, in really, really big ways through the donations of PPE, monetary donations, and this group specifically through the donations of meals. We cannot thank you enough. And what we're going to do is always have an eye as we're developing new programs to how we can work with the local Scarborough community, the business community, and our restaurants. We've got 2 events coming up. One is a Valentine's Day concert on Sunday, and we have shared information about the Valentine's Day concert with the SBA, so that can be shared from there. But we're also encouraging our participants as they're joining us virtually to support Scarborough restaurants and create a meal and have a meal and a night in, if you will, and support Scarborough business at the same time. We're also looking to see how we can work with the Scarborough Town Center on a drive-in movie night in the summertime, and I see that as a wonderful opportunity to host a bit of a food festival at the same time. And so I'll be working with Andrea and others in the community on how we might be able to do that. I look forward to working with all of you. I'm new in my role, so I look forward to meeting many of you when we can. I encourage you all to continue to do the wonderful work that you're doing in the community, to keeping us fed, and we will keep you all healthy. As Andrea and I spoke in our first initial meeting together, health is wealth, and we're here for you. And if there's any other ways that we can work with you as we go forward, we look forward to doing that. Thank you for the time. Andrea, thank you very much for having me.
All right, and I want to thank you, Ryan, for taking the time to come out and present. It was very well said, very well received. And before I bring on Zuba, the SBA Executive Board Secretary, I just want to promote some of the restaurants that have been popping up in this chat feed, like for sushi. Is it Niji? I see at Niji at the southwest corner of Ellesmere and Midland. Fredericks, where I've been several times, and Fredericks is right at Bellamy and Ellesmere. Right beside Fredericks, they have another restaurant. I forget the name of that restaurant, but it's a nice breakfast restaurant.
Is it the Avenue?
No, right beside Fredericks in the same plaza. Avenue's another big one as well. Last Sani, Shamrock Burgers, Real McCoy, Drupides, and Avenue are the same owner. They share the same kitchen right on Bellamy at 1095 Bellamy. Sammy's, Vienna Fine Foods has been a staple in Scarborough since the 70s. Asian Legend, Polka Deli for the best meats at Markham and Lawrence. Polka Deli is right there. Roti Hut, it's been a Guyanese staple in the community at Pitfield, right at McCowan and Shepherd. If you want roti, that's a hot spot. And Mona's as well is on Shepherd as well. Another good spot. Shawarma Empire at Lawrence and Pharmacy, and Remizio right at the corner, right beside the McDonald's at Warden and Shepherd. Without further ado, Zuba, the floor is back to you again. Let me make sure your mic is on. Give me a sec. And away you go, Zuba.
Thank you so much, Sean. I'm back again with another roundup of restaurants. I'll start with Floga by Mr. Greek. Located in the heart of Scarborough at Progress and Kennedy, Floga offers a refined expression of rustic Greek recipes. They feature a selection of award-winning dishes, introducing an array of new flavors from across Greece, all prepared from scratch using the freshest premium ingredients. My personal favorites at Roga are their zucchini fritters, garlic shrimp, almost all of their dips. But best of all, their petite tender beef souvlaki and their slow roasted lamb shank. Next up, Buster's by the Bluffs Pub and Grill, a lovely pub with a neighborhood feel, with a friendly owner and staff garnering many accolades and online reviews. And that's just for their personal charm and amazing service standards. The food is top notch as well and includes fresh cut fries, pierogies, handmade burgers, absolutely fantastic fish and chips, and get this, Toronto's best wings. Next up is St. Andrew's Fish and Chips. Family owned and operated since 1984, St. Andrew's menu features many items found in traditional Scottish chip shops, from meat pies to haggis and mealy pudding. Their most popular menu item is the traditional Scottish fish and chips. I can also recommend a couple of things like their clam chowder. Their steak and mushroom pie with chips is delicious, and their mushy peas are second to none. I've never tried their desserts, but I'm heading straight for their deep fried jam sandwich, which I discovered on their website just last night, the minute I returned to Canada. In the next segment of speakers, you'll be hearing from another personal favorite of mine, Karai Boys. That's my go-to place for takeout anytime I'm missing Pakistan. This restaurant has a vision to embrace diversity as a spice of life, treat guests as family, and create delectable dishes for sharing. They specialize in karais, which are the sizzling, succulent, spicy meat dishes made in this deep wok-like dish. And they bring authentic flavors of Pakistan, from their freshly made tandoori naans to a variety of Pakistani-style barbecue meats. I can tell you from personal experience that Charsi Karai is to die for. The Potohari Karai will transport you to the north of Pakistan in a moment, and the Chana Masala Karai will time-port you to the middle of the famous and infamous Gawal Mandi Bazaar, which is a veritable food mecca in Lahore. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you both for that valuable information. And we have to keep supporting these Scarborough businesses, Scarborough restaurants, the lifeblood of our community. I got 1 minute before I bring on Taha Hassin from Karai Boys Restaurant. And don't you guys feel hungry? It's 11:12.
Yes.
So hungry. Mr. Yassin, I'm going to open your mic, and please don't have any sizzling in the background, because it's going to make our mouth water even more. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, turn up your mic a little bit. You're a little low. We want to hear everything that you have to say.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Thank you so much, SBA, for having me here on the portal. That's great to be here and sharing Karai Boys along with such other great restaurants. And we are all in the same boat together, and it's a great initiative you guys have put together. And I feel there's a great network and support system you guys have here. So sharing a little bit about just Karai Boys, I wanted to give a background. Karai Boys owned by myself and my partner Sultan. We started in 2016, and our whole vision was to bring Pakistani traditional street foods here in Canada and Toronto, which we saw they were lacking the original traditional dishes done the same way, the way they are done in street in Lahore and Karachi and Peshawar, all these in Pakistan, great cities. So when we started Karai Boys, we started in 2017 with just one dish we started. And we thought, because back home there are so many restaurants which only sell one item, and and for years and years, their generations, they've been selling one item. So when we opened, we only had one dish on the menu, and that's it, how we launched. And now we have around about 10 different or more different barbecue items and stuff we have gradually added along the way. And but our whole vision is to, whatever our meat comes fresh every day to the restaurant. We don't have freezers in the restaurants, and we don't freeze meat. It's freshly cooked if it's goat or chicken or anything. So it's all fresh cooked to order. And that's our whole vision has been, and that's helped us grow in the community. We started from Mississauga. We opened the second location in Scarborough, and we just franchised a location in Ajax, and we opened this last Friday in Toronto, Queen West location. So we have 4 locations, and we are expanding even though it's COVID. But we are pretty optimistic, and we believe we have a good, strong product, and we have a good community support. So we are so for us, it's all about basically our whole team and everything is we hire a lot of young graduate chefs from George Brown and all these different institutions, and we train them this culinary skill. So they've been growing with us for a while with us, and that's how we are building the whole ecosystem so we can grow in this community, because this skill set does not exist. The making of kadais, it's a very, these dishes are very thick gauge woks which are imported from back home, and you have to hold them with pliers, and it's the sizzling of meat with the iron. These are pure made of iron, and that's what creates all the taste and flavors in the dish. So that's what our whole vision has been, and to staying true to the authentic flavors, and gradually adding more and more dishes, building more flavors as we grow. And we are so, and COVID has impacted us a lot in reference to, obviously we are dine-in. We have created a lot of different deals to help us and also the community, so we can give back to the communities, lower the prices, and create different packages for and we've been surviving with takeout, even though we had built all the patio earlier on when this whole like few months ago. So maybe that we would have some of winter patio season, but unfortunately we didn't see that. So we've been surviving with the takeout and delivery, and we are very thankful for all the community supporting, spreading the word, and doing the takeouts as much they can, and that's what we are doing right now. But also what we are doing, we are also seeing opportunity the way we are growing in this whole, it's that we are seeing there's a lot of restaurants are closing up as well, and that, so there's always in this whole ecosystem, there is opportunity as well. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to see, so wherever, because rents are getting lower as well, we can negotiate rents with the landlords at this time. So we are able to do that with our new restaurants and secure more locations.
And that's amazing, yes, and that's very good, because a lot of businesses are having a lot of issues. And thank you for sharing all of the good things. And I want to wish you continued success. We got to keep the program moving. I got Sharon here, or sorry, Shannon. My apologies, Shannon. I have Shannon here from Centennial College, the general manager at restaurants and events. I'm going to just pause you there, Mr. Yassin, and I want to unmute.
Thank you.
I want to unmute Shannon, and let's go. Karachi boys, please check them out. They sound fabulous. That sizzling sound, when you said sizzling, I had it in my head. So Shannon, please go ahead.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. I'm happy to be here on behalf of Centennial College and the School of Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Arts specifically. Of course, being in the business of teaching and leading students to enter careers in this industry, obviously it's a very challenging time, and we want to make sure that we're involved in supporting local restaurants as much as we can, not just through COVID. Obviously this has put extra pressure on, but beyond that as well. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to Susan for the shout out for the local cafe and restaurant in the chat there. So I manage that restaurant as part of my role at the college. and it's as a training restaurant, and with students moving to programs online, we are closed right now. We'd love for you to come visit us, but hopefully that will change as things move along this year and we get some vaccines out and get students back on campus. But what I would really like to take this platform to talk about today is a partnership that we are part of with, I know Bill already mentioned, UTSC, the Bridge, and the City of Toronto, that fits really well into this space here, putting together a hub for people in the Scarborough community, or visitors, tourists to the Scarborough community, to be able to find options for them, if they want to support local independent restaurants. So we've worked together over the last few months, but probably longer than that now, but we're really just starting to get into the timing where we're able to communicate a little bit more clearly with restaurants what we're doing to support them, and get some information out to consumers as well. So this is perfectly timed, as we're hoping to actually have the landing page for this site launched hopefully today, so that restaurants can go and connect. I'm going to share my screen. I didn't want to put it on through my whole talk here, but I will share my screen so there's a little bit of information for you to see. And hopefully you can see this clearly.
Yeah, we can see it.
Amazing. So Bill, feel free to jump in at any point here, but I just kind of want to give a bit of an overview of what this Find Dining program is. So we're launching a website called finddining.ca that will be a hub really for, like I said, visitors or residents of Scarborough to find options for dining in Scarborough that are local and independently owned. So a really great initiative that fits really well into what's going on with COVID right now. We've seen a lot of community groups and a lot of supports coming up as we want to see these local restaurants do well. And I know Chef Suman, you already mentioned there's so many that are struggling that we're not going to see come out on the other side of this, and we want to do our part to stop that. You mentioned, profit margins in the restaurant industry are quite low, and that's most of the time not what restaurateurs are in this for. It's a passion project. That's what they do because they love it, and it's such an important part of any community, that social fabric of any community that we're missing, and Scarborough has so much to celebrate that this website will really focus on celebrating that, celebrating the diversity, the stories of these restaurants, putting that in the forefront so that there's that personal connection, that you get to know, the struggles, the successes, the faces, the owners, all of that information helps consumers in making decisions, especially right now. So I think we're really happy to be able to help put that together with teams of students that were working, Bill had students working on research back in the summer towards this project. We've had co-op students and interns and class students working on developing this website, and reaching out to restaurants. So for any restaurants that are on this call right now, we'd love to connect with you as well, and can leave some information in the chat on how to contact us if you're interested in joining this page, so we can build you a profile and get your information out there, or for any consumers as well to connect, sign up for updates. And we are looking to officially launch in the spring and be able to really connect the community so that there's a one space for people to be able to go. I want to support a Scarborough restaurant. I want to find something new that I haven't tried beyond my normal, go-to places in Scarborough. I'm looking for a different type of cuisine. We'll try to make that really easy for you to find, and to help support. So Bill, is there anything that you wanted to add there?
Well, as usual, you nailed it, Shannon. Thanks. I will just reiterate that this is a Scarborough solution for Scarborough restaurants. Students from both campuses, both Centennial and UTSC, in different departments, marketing, and consumer behavior, computer science, and of course Shannon's students in restaurant and hospitality. They're all working together to build this for Scarborough restaurants, so we can't be more excited. And please join. Please help to make this a wonderful and rich platform.
All right, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Shannon. Amazing initiative. And for those of you that haven't done so already, Highland Fish and Chips, 40 years in the business in Scarborough. St. Andrews, I heard the deep fried Mars bars are amazing. Who says you have to go to the Danforth for Greek food? Flogan Kennedy is an amazing spot for Greek food. I personally been there several times. Amazing experience right in Scarborough. Chris Jerk, Shawarma Jerk Chicken. Phoenix Pan Asian right at Kingston and Scarborough Golf Club. Stone Cottage Pub, amazing burgers. And Karahi, I said Karachi before, but it's Karahi, I stand corrected. Karahi, amazing, amazing food as well. So all of these restaurants and the ones I've mentioned before, and all of you in the chat, please sign up to Fine Dining in Scarborough. Find, F-I-N-D, dining.ca to be on that list and join that initiative put forth by Centennial College. Zuba, we're running slightly behind, but the floor is back to you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sean. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So the next restaurant I'd like to introduce to you is Port Union Bakery. It's a family-owned bakery, handed down 3 generations, uniquely Filipino-Canadian in heritage, and it has been a Scarborough mainstay since 1978. They offer a large variety of baked goods, including a range of freshly baked breads, buns and rolls, cakes, cookies, and cupcakes, Filipino empanadas and ensamadas, which are these amazing, soft, cheesy, sweet Filipino treats. And last but not least, their highly renowned and signature product, handmade donuts, which are voted among the top 10 in Toronto listings by BlogTO. Next up is Art of Barbecue Smokehouse. Trevor David, owner and pitmaster, started this restaurant in 2015 to honor the memory and continue the legacy of his beloved Uncle John, who had a passion for smokehouse barbecuing. He feels, like his uncle before him, that great food and smokehouse barbecue bring people together. His Southern-inspired smokehouse offerings include meats marinated in secret spice brine for 72 hours and comforting sides like cornbread, coleslaw, rice and peas, collard greens, and mac and cheese. Their slogan says, "Slow smoke, sweet meat." Need we say more? Next up is JC's Banquet and Convention Center. So proud to be an active Scarborough community member, JC serves traditional Sri Lankan and South Asian dishes with a menu enhanced by North American favorites. While they await the chance to serve you indoors again, they welcome you to try out their weekend specials, including the intriguing and unforgettable banana leaf lunch. Next, Treats by Femme, you may have seen it rolling on our slides before, is a home-based baking business led by a young Black female, offering customized cakes, cupcakes, and cookies, perfect for February celebrations. Their signature item is the Melanin Magic Sugar Cookies, which showcase people of color and curls. And finally, in the next segment, you will be hearing from Tropical Nights directly. Located at Morningside and Shepherd, Tropical Night celebrates the food styles created by the fusion of European, East Indian, Arab, Chinese, African, and Amerindian traditions that were brought from many lands to the Caribbean and South America, resulting in exotic tastes that are quite unique to the region. Their menu includes treats like puluri, double, salt fish and bake, and dumplings, as well as all your favorite curry dishes. They are certified halal as well, choosing not to serve pork dishes to be respectful towards the religious needs of their patrons. Their authentic baked custard is not to be missed. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you for that, Zupa. And Eat More Scarborough Tours. They're on a mission to do little snippets of great Scarborough restaurants, and we have the pleasure of speaking to Howard Tam, a University of Toronto alumni and urban planner, owner of Eat More Tours, lover of all things food in Scarborough. Howard, the floor is yours.
Hello, hello. Can everyone see the screen share that I've just put up? I'm going to run through a quick presentation with everyone. I hope this works. Please work.
It will work.
Yes. Okay. All right. Magic. So hi, welcome. So yeah, Eat More Scarborough. We are a food tour group. So organization. We do food tours throughout Scarborough. Been running them for about 2 years. We're based right here in Scarborough. I'm from Agincourt, and we run tours mostly in the summer, but we also do, because of the pandemic, we've pivoted to virtual tours, and we've been doing these amazing videos, as you mentioned. They're up on YouTube. We actually did one with Karahi Boys. So Taha I met a few weeks ago when we did that. I don't know if he remembers me, but yeah, and just wanted to, just open up with this wonderful spread. All of these are Scarborough restaurants, food you can get from Scarborough restaurants. This was actually one of the food tours we did last summer. And I often get asked, like where can I get this food, right? And that's actually how these food tours actually began. Like 2 years ago, I moved back to Scarborough from downtown, and a lot of my friends started asking me, hey, do you know a good place in Scarborough for XYZ dish? And I would just start telling them, oh, you can try this place, this place, this place. And over time, it just kind of was like, I want to just do this for people. Like there's so much good food here. And of course, we all know the Scarborough food story, right? Ever since we were declared the best ethnic food suburb in the world, many people have been coming to Scarborough, foodies, to just try like what are the amazing dishes here. And this has actually grown into like, this is almost like this passion project for me. This is photos of some of the food tours, and yes, that is Councillor Thompson. Yes, that is Councillor McKelvey, and all these other tours that we've done. This is one of the sort of social distance tours we did last year in the summertime. We're going to do more of them this year. We've been doing virtual food tours online in partnership with UTSC. That has been going really, really well. And we're doing, and we're just continuing to sort of like really push this idea that like Scarborough is a culinary destination. It's a culinary tourism destination. Come try our food, come eat here, make this a thing, really tell the story of the entrepreneurs and really tell the story of sort of our food scene. And that's really what I think is most important, right? Is talking about who our food entrepreneurs are. These are actually like the most passionate, like, people that you'll ever meet, most humble people you'll ever meet, the nicest people you'll ever meet. This is actually what Scarborough is about. It's the diversity, it's the stories, it's how these food restaurants get started. Everybody is really excited about sharing a little bit of their culture with you, telling you the story about what's happening there, kind of getting into the food itself. And as I always say, there's also like a deep sense of human history that exists inside all of this, because the food is the evidence of the history itself, right? Like any of these dishes, right? You can tell a story about how it was invented, and that tells a story about humanity. And that's what I find is really great about it. And it talks a lot about the cultures, the diversity of cultures that we have here, and gives us a sense to like be able to have that conversation, to have cultural understanding. And that's what I love the most, seeing people try something for the first time and go, oh my God, this is so tasty. And realizing that like, wait a minute, this is actually really similar to another dish that I've actually have back home. And you're like, yeah, because we're all human, right? And these foods have traveled all over the planet. It's not a surprise, for example, that every single culture has a dumpling. And that's the reason why I do these tours. I really just love kind of like seeing people get into that kind of space. So I don't know why this is not working. So one thing I did want to bring up sort of here is to talk a little bit about sort of what the future might hold, right? As we know, we've all seen the headlines, right? That, that restaurants aren't doing great. And we've talked a little bit about that here. But there's also a lot of like sort of pre-existing conditions about the food industry that we really should be talking about. Definitely race, diversity, and inclusion has been an issue. And this has been brought up, of course, now with all the inclusion being on the agenda for many corporate organizations, and I think the food industry is not immune from that. Also, the city has been going through a lot of like gentrification and like displacement, right? And many restaurants have had to shut down because they can no longer afford the rents that have actually been happening. And this is going to continue, right? Like Scarborough is not immune from gentrification. The developers are coming here whether we like it or not. So we really need to think about what is the future of the food industry. And so to me, like we look at things like ghost kitchens. That's a model that's now popping up. Look it up if you don't know what it is. I don't really have the full, I guess I could explain it, but it'll take a little bit too long. But also like, what is this new normal that we're getting into? And so I really wanted to kind of like get us is to think about recovery and the future of Scarborough food now. Like we need to be able to know that like when this pandemic is over, we can push play on a whole bunch of programs that will help with recovery. And we need to think about that today. So food festivals, they take a bit of time to organize, right? So we need to actually get the logistics for that now. I was thinking about, should we have a Scarborough Restaurant Bucks program, get people to go out to eat again, trust that they can actually go dine in restaurants and it's safe, right? And thinking a little bit further into the future, maybe Scarborough needs a food BIA. like actually connecting all of the restaurants together so that we can cross promote and actually really promote this as a culinary tourism destination. A food incubator hub. How do you actually start a new restaurant in Scarborough? What does that actually look like? We have a really diverse marketplace where you can test any kind of food item. I think it's actually a really good opportunity. And the last thing is, what is sustainable and responsible food businesses? What is that going to look like as a business model? So those are the thoughts I just want to leave us with, because I think like that is important to think about as we get into what is the future of the food business industry in Scarborough. But of course, as always, if you want to experience it yourself, come over anytime. That's my website and contact information. Feel free to get in touch with me. I'm here anytime. So yeah, good to see you all. Good to chat. And also, happy Lunar New Year to those who are celebrating. Thank you.
And thank you for that, Howard. Amazing presentation. It's always good to learn new things. This presentation that we have going on here, this virtual food festival, is really so much information. It's like it's a wealth of information. That presentation was very well presented, and thank you for that. I want to just circle back to Imran Ali, the owner of Northern Smokes, because he has a fabulous story. He wasn't there when I called on him earlier, but he's here now. So I want to give you your time to speak. Imran, the floor is yours, sir.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Imran Ali. I'm the owner of Northern Smokes. Northern Smokes started from a backyard, guys. Just a bunch of guys sitting in the backyard doing some barbecue, kind of grew into another monster. We're nestled in the corner of Highland Creek. You know, if you don't know about us, someone's got to tell you about us, I guess. What we specialize, everybody, is brisket, ribs, chicken, everything smoked. And it's just on a wood fire. So I'm just going to give you a quick glance of how we smoke our food here, if you don't mind.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is really nice. Now, okay, it's a wrap. You're going to get all the business now. We lost your feed there. Oh, don't tell me we lost it. We lost the line.
Yeah, we just lost the sound, but we're seeing him move into his smoke drum.
That was so huge, and man, that food must be good. We lost the sound.
Yeah, this is technology. We can see him moving.
Okay, he's
okay.
back.
So I just want to say, guys, Scarborough has a lot of great food, a lot of great barbecue. One thing we don't serve here is pork. If you guys love pork, I've heard great things from another brother just down the street. It's Black History Month. Art of Barbecue, guys. Go visit him. You know, just give him some love, all right? Barbecue is a loving thing. Scarborough's a loving community, and we want everybody from the 6 to come to Scarborough and enjoy some great food, guys. Love you.
Thank you, sir. That was amazing. You'll see me right after this call. I just want to put it out there that look out for me in the next 30 minutes. I will definitely be there because now you made me hungry. Now we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so I want, President Andrea Hazel, I don't know if what's your pulse check? What do you think about this?
Pulse check, I think I felt like we're sprinting. We're sprinting today, but we're sharing a lot of important information for our businesses and for our residents. I am like over the moon happy with how many chat information is really going into our chat feed about all the restaurants in Scarborough. I am so proud of everyone here on the call. We're holding tight. Let's go. Let's go. We are bending the corner to wrapping up very strong. Thank you, Sean.
I got a very special person. He's a proud supporter of all small business and the Scarborough Business Association. As president and CEO, chairman of the board of directors of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, Dan Kelly is tirelessly advocating for the Federation's over 190,000 small and medium-sized business members. He has served on countless provincial and federal committees and the task force, and has represented Canada's small businesses at the International Labour Organization in Geneva. Wow. Dan is an internally respected expert speaker. His time has been much in demand during the recent crisis, and we have been delighted to have him sit with us today. And I think it's the food, Dan. It's the food. I want to welcome you. And let me open up your mic. And Dan, I think we've seen you quite a few times here at the SBA. And now we're seeing you representing yet again for small businesses. The floor is yours.
Well, look, thank you so much for having me, Sean. It's great to be with you guys again. It doesn't feel like that long since I spoke to the group. And couldn't be more appropriate that you bring me to an event that's focused on food. I just tweeted right before this that this is a great idea to do a virtual food event, but gosh, after seeing what I just saw, I'm looking forward to an in-person food festival that as soon as that is possible. But look, these are crazy days still for small and medium-sized firms in Scarborough and right across Canada. We continue at the Canadian Federation of Independent for sensible policies to try to help small and medium-sized firms get across the COVID finish line. We're making some headway. There are some reasons for optimism. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's not a short one, unfortunately, but nevertheless, there is some light there. Vaccines, while slow, are starting to roll out across the country. The provincial government, of course, is lifting some of the restrictions in the days ahead. We are pushing every single day to ensure that Ontario follows the lead of other provinces in removing some of the restrictions that don't make sense while maintaining, obviously, strict measures to keep the health and safety of Ontario business owners, their employees, and their staff. We've got to find a better balance than the one that we have right now, though, because, of course, it is really punishing so many small and medium-sized companies. Of course, later today, we're expected to hear from the provincial government about the measures outside of the GTA, outside of Toronto, Scarborough, what will be allowed to open, what won't. In most jurisdictions in Ontario, as of Tuesday, for the restaurant sector, for example, they will be able to seat a limited number of customers in their restaurants. Those in red zones even will be able to seat up to 10. Those in green, obviously, with greater capacity. But that's not going to be the case, unfortunately, next week, nor even the week after, we believe, in Toronto and in Scarborough. We've got to make sure that we push the government to ensure that they find a safe pathway for this to happen. After all, the data shows that infections are, A, they're coming down, but B, they're driven by what's happening in people's homes. And we need to find a better balance to ensure that small business owners can at least earn a sustenance income until such time as physical distancing requirements are able to be lifted altogether. That's going to take a bit of time, but we do need some support. That's why we pushed for the rent subsidy, the wage subsidy, the CEBA loan program, which of course has now been expanded, the Ontario Small Business Support Grant. For those that haven't applied for those programs, please do. If you're getting excluded from the scope of any of those programs, let us know at CFIB. We are advocating for new businesses, those without business numbers, those from sectors that perhaps are not eligible for certain of the subsidy programs. We're pushing hard to make sure that the government support continues to be there for small business owners until such time as everybody is able to go back to something closer to business as usual. But I really congratulate your association, the Scarborough Business Association, for its leadership over the last number of months, for sharing information among the business community, and events like today's that focus on a specific sector of the economy. This is exactly what people need. They need a bit of a ray of hope at a time when it's been tough to find one. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be with you today and to bring greetings and congratulations to your association for its incredible work in supporting local businesses in your area. And of course, for me, I got to find a way, hopefully this weekend, I'll have to ditch my low carb diet for a bit and head out with my in-laws from Trinidad and get out to Mona's or another of the fine roti shops in Scarborough.
Yes,
And I'll take recommendations.
Yes, I promoted them because I knew you were on the call. I promoted them early. They're one of my favorites as well. I'm from Guyana, but you know, and no disrespect to Roti Hut in Pitfield, they're my Guyanese brothers and sisters over there. But I kind of have an edge towards Mona's myself, so you know, share the same commitment.
Oh boy, oh boy! Those are fighting words in my house because you know there's my Trinidadian wife would be very happy to hear that even the Guyanese like Mona's better. So.
Now I have to pipe in here. You guys are starting war in the entire Caribbean country here, okay? I just want to pipe in with that.
And Howard did Mona's versus Roti Hut versus Jupiter's. I gotta go Mona's, Roti Hut, Jupiter's. That's my
okay. All right. I haven't tried the other two. I got to do it.
Oh, Sean, I will not be speaking to you for 2 days.
Well, if we opened the mics to everybody, everybody would have something to say.
But the doubles at Jupiter's, I think, are better than Mona's.
Okay. I'm in.
It's a little twist here. It's a little twist. It's a little twist. So at that point, do we have Councillor Jennifer McKelvey around? I would love to hear from her. Thank you, Dan, for always being available to us.
Thank you, Dan.
I gotta go do a TV show, so I'm gonna say goodbye and thank you for everything. You can see more from CFIB, I think, on one of 5 stations I'll be on later today. So.
All right, thank you for always supporting. So with that, my friends, we have come to the end of a wonderful event with so many pleasant speakers. And it wouldn't be fair to end this event without giving a shout out to Councillor Paul Ainsley. He would love to hear from you for the Cafe TO project. And we want to know how he can help to encourage more Scarborough restaurants to participate. Reach out to Antoinette DeNovo. Antoinette DeNovo at antoinette.denovo@toronto.ca to see how Councillor Ainsley, who has been a staple at our cyber breakfast, he has been there, I think, at every single one. We have to give him a participation award for sure, because he's been at every single one as long as I can remember.
He's always there.
And also, I want to send a special thanks once again to Dan Kelly, CFIB. He's always been there to support. And for those of you that haven't done so already, we do have Councillor McKelvey. So
yes, she is there.
Perfect. But findining.ca, FIND dining.ca, and eat more Scarborough tours. So, Councillor McKelvey, you are here. I don't see.
It shows iPad.
iPad. Okay, here we go.
It shows iPad.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
so
that's her.
Let me open up.
I'm unmuted. There we go.
Perfect. There you go.
Okay, there you go. Welcome.
Right, so firstly, I'm going to say Howard introduced me to Doubles at Diane's. So you got to get that one on your list in there too. Thank you so much to the powerhouses, Andrea and Sean, and to Ashwani and the entire Scarborough Business Association for encouraging residents to support our local restaurants this month. And I'm going to try and name drop a bunch of restaurants in Scarborough Rouge Park during my remarks. So let's see if you can keep a full count of them as I go through. It is really great that our friends from Tropical Nights were part of the program. It's a great place to have a bite to eat after a cricket tournament, which unfortunately we don't have right now, but please do support them with takeout. And likewise, it was really great that our friends at Northern Smokes were able to connect, and it's definitely my favorite place to pick up ribs to eat in the backyard with friends. At City Hall, our colleague, Councillor Cole, has recommended that when we return from the stay-at-home orders and we come back to sitting in person at council, that we have a donut competition. And I will let you know that I've already selected that the Port Union Bakery will be my pick to present in this very important City Hall contest. So stay tuned for that. Last summer, an intern in our office worked alongside students at the bridge through the Scarborough Restaurant Recovery Project to call Scarborough restaurants, because we needed to get the word out and let people know about some different programs that we were offering. So students were able to help 27 restaurants in Scarborough to get onto toronto.com. That website is still up. And what it does is it's trying to promote takeout and to go and pick up your food specifically, because as we know, third-party apps take a large portion of the money from our restaurants. So it's important that we're trying to pick it up and also support the restaurants that have their own delivery systems as well. And we also called restaurants to let them know about Cafe TO. And we definitely have advocated to the city staff that they need to do more to advertise this program to Scarborough restaurants. And it's a little bit different in Scarborough. In the downtown area, restaurants were expanding into the roads, and so the city was shutting down roads. But in Scarborough, the restaurants are expanding into their parking lots. And we did change zoning permissions to allow them to do that. But unfortunately, we didn't see as many restaurants sign up in the Scarborough area as we did downtown. And so I think that's mostly because we haven't been promoting it as heavily. So we've asked city staff to promote that. As you heard, Councillor Ainsley's trying to promote that as well, as are we. And I will say that in Scarborough Rouge Park, 4 restaurants participated in Cafe TO, and they were Six Social, Sunny Up, Carla's Roadhouse, and Fratelli's. So we're hopeful they're all going to come back on board with that program again. I'm really excited that UTSC and Centennial both announced today that the website will be launching for fine dining. This is a great initiative to promote Scarborough restaurants, but also tell the story of the people behind the food. And as we know, everybody connects with their local restaurateur, has a conversation with them. And really, when we support our restaurants, we're supporting people. We're supporting the staff, we're supporting those entrepreneurs, and we're making sure that they're able to thrive despite the challenges that are offered by COVID-19. So events like this that are promoting them are just so wonderful. I'll tell you where the name Fine Dining came from. We were having conversations about Summerlicious and Winterlicious and why the suburbs weren't signing on. And part of it is that Summerlicious and Winterlicious were about fine dining experiences and bringing that price point down so that it could be accessible to a wider variety of people. In Scarborough, the challenge is different. There's these small restaurants, a lot of them locally, owned locally by families. And so it's about finding them and telling everybody about these great places. And so that's the origin of the title for the program, Fine Dining. So it's great that Bill and Shannon from UTSC and Centennial were here today. And I'd like to thank all the students for their hard work. I'm so great that the city was able to be a partner and to make this happen. So please do support local restaurants this month. Another great suggestion I will drop is Soya Spot on Morningside. It serves a variety of African dishes. And I will give another shout out to Howard because he's the one that introduced this restaurant to me on his Eat More Scarborough tour. And we're featuring it today on our social media in honor of Black History Month. And last week we featured Drake's favorite restaurant, Drake's favorite Scarborough restaurant spot, the Patty Stop at Port Union and Lawrence. So please do support our local restaurants this month for Black History Month, for Lunar New Year, for Valentine's Day and Family Day. I'm so happy that I could join you. Does anybody want to take a guess about how many restaurants I just name dropped?
Oh, quite a few. At least 15, 20. And it seems like they're all in your writing too.
I know my job. So there were 10. So that was 10 restaurants in less than 5 minutes that you have to check out in Scarborough Rouge Park.
All right, perfect. And I'm a resident of Scarborough Rouge Park, and having you as my counselor is so amazing because you're really involved in the community. So thank you, Councillor McKelvey, for giving me 10 new restaurants to go to, because I have a hard time finding and navigating where to get these good spots, but thank you for dropping them. And I want everyone to register on finedining.ca. Like, we need to get the name and the vibe out for that, for sure. People need to know that there's great food and great culture in Scarborough. So thank you for that.
Sean,
Thank you.
I just want to pipe in here a bit. Everyone on the call, please look out. We will follow up with our promise. We're going to be sending a list of all the restaurants that are mentioned today to you. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for attending today. And for those of you that haven't done so already, please join the SBA. We are here pushing our fearless leader, Hurricane Andrea Hazel, put this thing together. So congratulations to her, round of applause. And I want to also thank Zuba, Ashwani, Peter, and Sherry for all the tireless work getting this together on such short notice. We are officially out of time. My name is Sean Allen, and I want to thank you. And let's go and support our Scarborough restaurants. Thank you, everyone.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was
Bye,
a great,
everyone.
great event. Wonderful.
Have a happy long weekend.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
I just don't feel like leaving the meeting.
Everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, yes, happy New Year.
Kan hoi, fat choy.
All right. Should we leave the meeting?
Keep it here to start.
Which one? Yeah.